Welcome to the BAM Sports Show.
I carefully place all of it in various trash cans around.
Any other headlines you guys are interested in tomorrow?
I'll poop in a urinal.
It's going to be a wet one.
He shoots, he scores, you suck.
Rick's wife is going to make him sleep in the bathroom tub tonight.
A dark horse candidate of where I may eventually want to end up living for good.
Welcome to a brand new sports show experience coming through your wavelengths. Let's get ready to have some fun. So sit back, crack open a drink, and let's talk some sports.
And welcome to the BAM Sports Show. Let's talk some sports indeed. I'm joined as always with the goons, Ryan, Keith. What up, fellas?
Sup?
The second to last show in February. Next Tuesday will be your boy's birthday. Live on the air for my birthday.
Nice. Hey,
I won't
the week after that is my birthday.
And then the week after that's Raw, baby. We got a full, we got a full show tonight, guys. We got a special guest joining us. Darren Elkins, featherweight of the UFC, is joining us this evening. We had a big kickoff week 1 of the XFL. And then we got some pitchers and catchers reporting, and baseball's starting to almost be here, huh?
Put me in, coach.
I am excited. I am pumped. So, for those of you that do not know who Darren Elkins is a featherweight in the UFC. He has got the most fights in the UFC featherweight division, second most wins in the featherweight division, second in total fight time in the UFC featherweight division, and most control time. Dude's an absolute fucking stud.
I watched some clips of him earlier, and he likes to leak his body fluids out of areas they shouldn't be coming out of.
Yeah, if you Google some of his pictures, they're nasty.
That man has donated more blood than...
Yeah, so it'll be a fun conversation, kind of get a little bit of that inside behind this curtain look of the UFC.
Yeah, I'm excited. I got some questions.
Oh, I can't wait. I'm sure you... How many mic bites are you in?
Just one.
Oh, that's not too bad. So before we, or I guess while we're kind of waiting on him, anything exciting besides anyone watch into the NBA All-Star game?
No.
Yeah.
No.
I caught clips.
I saw a white guy won the slam dunk contest. And
His name Mac?
Something like he was a Bull at one point. He made his career earnings.
Yeah, you're
Mac
right.
McClung.
He earned his career earnings in one night. He doubled them. His career earnings were 106,000, and he won 100,000 for winning the slam dunk contest.
That's wild.
I'm watching a couple of his dunks here, and he's stacking two dudes on top of each other. Like there's one guy on his shoulders holding the ball over his head, and he's just gonna scoop and dunk it.
All right, y'all, it's time. Our boy's here. Let's welcome him some love. Show him some love. Welcome to the BAM Sports Show. Darren Elkins, baby.
Darren the Cabbage Elkins! Darren the Cabbage Elkins knocks out Musa Beckett. Incredible! Absolutely incredible. Wow! You want to talk hard? You guys were all over.
Darren, welcome, my friend.
Howdy.
How's it going?
So we don't really recognize you because if you Google a picture of you, man, you've got chunks of your face missing in almost every picture on the internet.
Yeah, I'm mostly covered in blood, the crimson blood mask.
We absolutely love it, guys. Like we were saying earlier, Darren Elkins, featherweight of the UFC. Welcome, my friend. Thanks for cutting some time out of your busy schedule.
No problem.
I know you're back on that training schedule. Is that right? Coming off an injury?
Yeah, I came off. I tore my meniscus, I tore my MCL, and I fractured my fibula. So I was out for about, I don't know, 12 weeks almost. So I got a
Damn.
couple of weeks. I can do strength and conditioning stuff. I'm rehabbing my leg. I gotta get stronger with my knee. I can do biking now. I can do a lot of stuff, but I'm not quite into the whole mix yet. I gotta let my leg get a little bit stronger before I actually get all the way back.
Now, did this happen in your last fight, or?
Yeah, I shot in, and I like the first 30 seconds I tore my MCL and my MCL and my meniscus. Like the first 30 seconds I shot in, I got the takedown, I heard it pop, and I knew, I'm like, okay, I tore my MCL for sure. Pop. And later on in the fight, he kicked me a couple of times. I think that's what broke my fibula.
Jeez.
Yep.
That's a violent sport.
Yeah.
Badass.
You win some and you lose some, right?
Yeah. I mean, I've been in this game a long time. I barely ever come out with anything more than stitches. I mean, I always get stitches. Every fight, I'm going to get stitches. But
Right.
Broken bones and serious injuries, almost never.
What's fucked up about that is you went the full fight. It went to a decision, right?
Yep. Yeah.
You first 30 seconds in, you pop your MCL.
Yep.
Meniscus just gone.
Gone.
And you've got.
I felt
Jeez.
it. I didn't have like the pushing power. Like I wasn't able to get like the takedowns like I wanted. That's why I stopped going for the takedowns. Is because I could feel that I didn't have my leg underneath me. So I had to change my game plan a little bit. But I mean, that's the name of the game. People break their hands right away. People, they get hurt, and you gotta adjust on the fly. And I tried. I mean, obviously I got a high pain tolerance, and I'm used to bleeding all over the place. I'm drinking my blood most of the time, so that doesn't even bother me. But the leg didn't bother me.
That's wild.
You
man.
should. Have you ever thought about like changing your name from Darren the Damage to Darren the Blood Bank?
Nah,
It's just
it's
crazy.
on my chest now. It's a little too late for that. I mean, I have to I have to remove the tattoo and change everything, and I'm okay with it.
It's
That's
a good
awesome.
name. It's a good name.
Thank you.
So Darren, what got you into like MMA and pursuing it as a full-time thing?
So I watched UFC 1 when I was with my dad and my brother. We watched the pay-per-view, and I've always been fascinated with that one had Dan Severn, and Dan Severn's really doing well as a wrestler, and obviously I'm a wrestler, and I was like, man, I've always kind of been scrappy. I've always got fights at like school and street fights and stuff like that. So I enjoyed fighting. I was a scrappy guy, and I felt like I might want to do it one day. I went to college for a couple years. I got my wife pregnant, so we had a baby. I got in the Union Pipe Fitters, and I still wanted to compete. So I decided that the MMA was a good path to go. I had a friend that I knew from high school. He fought in the UFC already, and he told me, hey, you should come to the gym and try this MMA thing out. And I did, and I loved it. And I was like, I'm gonna do this, and I went all in on it, like I do everything, and I just love to compete, and it's been a badass ever since.
That's awesome.
Pretty wild.
That's so dope.
So, pipe fitting. So you're wrestling in college.
Yep.
Went to pipe fitting, and then went back to wrestling, grappling, UFC stuff.
So I was pipe fitting and I was fighting for a while. I mean, years. Even when I got in the UFC, I was doing both.
You must give like the craziest Native American burns.
Yeah.
Oh man, like I feel like you've got like bear claws by now just from doing it.
Yeah. When you grab a hold when I grab a hold of somebody, I mean, like, damn, that pressure is crazy. I'm like,
Right?
Yeah, man, strength's a little different when you work with your hands all your life,
Mm-hmm.
So how long did you do both? How long did you do the pipe fitting and the UFC training?
I did it for probably close to 8 years. I did both. I got my union card. I got vested, and then I put my card on hold. And then I moved to California, and I trained only since I've been in California, I haven't pipe fitted. So it's been about over 6 years I've been out here now. So almost 7 years actually. So I've had my card on hold for about 7 years, and it was just one of those things where like I was doing it both for a while, and I knew I had to make a change. I had to commit all the way to get to where I wanted to go next. So I was like, all right, I'm just gonna commit all the way and fight for a few more years.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's I like that.
So you're out of California now. So how often do you go back home?
Not very often. I was back a couple weeks ago. I went back. I watched semi-state for wrestling.
Yeah.
Just because I haven't been back for a while. I've been hurt. I couldn't really do anything. So, you know what? I'm just going to actually watch some wrestling. I haven't been back to watch any wrestling for a long time. I haven't been to semi-state for over 10 years, I want to say. So I'm like, all right, I'll watch semi-state. I'll get a big group of my friends, some ex-wrestlers and people that my brother came. And, we hung out and just watched wrestling all day.
That's awesome.
So I find it crazy. You're from Portage, Indiana, correct?
Yep.
So I find it crazy. I get on the Wikipedia. I'm like, all right, let's look up a little bit about Portage. There's 2 notable people on there. You and Gable Stevenson, another wrestling.
So Gable Stevenson, his brother, half brother, but his brother, he wrestled in the same high school wrestling team as me.
Mm-hmm.
John Brandon. And his other brother I knew from wrestling too. He wrestled a couple years in Indiana before they moved to Minnesota. I know their parents pretty well, so I mean, like I said, I knew the mom pretty well and the dad pretty well. So I've been watching him and keeping up with Gable for a long time, and I'm proud of what he's doing, man. He's doing great things.
Do you think after your UFC career is over, you might give him a call and try to get in with the kayfabe?
Nah, man, that's not me. That's not me. It's all good. I respect it. I used to like watching when I was younger, but that's not me.
So we had another wrestler on. Well, not another. We had a wrestler on a few months back from the Chicago area, and
Mark Myers, Darren.
Yeah, Mark Myers.
Yep, Mark Myers from Crown Point. Okay.
Yep. And so he was telling us about one of the biggest things that surprised me is the mat. With pro wrestling, it's basically just plywood with some carpet over it. What's the mat like in the actual UFC octagon? Is it the same kind of thing?
Yeah, it's a canvas. The UFC canvas is tricky because it has better footing, so you have more gription with that canvas. But man, sometimes some of the shots I've taken, I've had some badass mat burns.
I bet.
It's so much gription. I'm coming out like, oh, it's gonna hurt taking a shower tonight. I'm gonna have to do a couple of shots before I take a shower. But it's fast. It has that spring underneath it, so it's a fast octagon. I fought in a lot of different octagons, but the UFC octagon's fast, which is good. They make it more exciting, so you have more speed in that octagon compared to most.
So have you ever, obviously you had some amateur fights. Have you ever fought in another league or another league? I don't know. Company?
Promotion. They call it
promotion.
Yeah. But I fought way back when, and I don't know if you guys even heard of it. It was called Bulldog Fights.
No.
Nope.
Well, it was run by pretty much a billionaire. He did like the gambling, Bulldog fight gambling and stuff like that. And he really wasn't in it to make money for the fights. He was out there to get his name in there.
Mm-hmm.
But you travel all over. I fought in Vancouver, and it was the most money I ever made at the time. They paid pretty good money. And
nice.
You fought in that one. You didn't fight in an octagon. You fought in a ring, which kind of sucked for wrestlers. If you fight in a ring, you could fall out of the ring.
Right.
Harder to get takedowns because you can't use that ropes as hanging, lift them up like you could off the cage.
Mm-hmm.
I fought a few times where I grabbed the guy in the body lock, and I've had my arms and him stuck between the ropes, so you can't take the guy down because of the ropes. Just hold them up. You're like, oh fuck, and they stop. And you
Kind of is that
up.
kind of like the pride fighting,
Yep.
right? Yeah, because it seems kind of set up for them.
Yeah, so I wasn't a big fan, and I fought a couple shows like that with the ring. So I mean, I'm glad it's the octagon. For wrestlers, it definitely benefits the octagon compared to the ring.
So that kind of that answers my question that I was leading into is, have you noticed an improvement from, every promotion that you've been in up to the UFC to where like that is the cream of the crop? Or was there another promotion that had a better, octagon or ring setup?
I feel like if you go by the setup, was you know by closely, they're always on a certain time schedule. They treat you really good when it comes to that. A lot of these other ones, they tell you're gonna fight this time, you fight at a different time, you're waiting in the locker room way too long. The fight week's kind of hell for sometimes, as for UFC, it's pretty smooth. They tell you exactly how it's gonna be, and that's how it's gonna be. They don't change the course too much on that.
That's why they're the top dog.
Yes, it's definitely why they're the best in the business, and why most people are gonna do it.
A nice well-oiled machine. That's awesome.
So you mentioned Vancouver. Is there a favorite city you fought in? Outside of obviously Portage, Indiana, you got to rep the hometown.
Yeah. I always loved fighting in Chicago. That was fun because we fight there. I get a bunch of people from Indiana coming there. And I'm fighting where the Bulls play and a bunch of other teams play that I grew up watching. So that's cool too. I fought in Indianapolis, which I had a lot of friends and family there, that's cool. But I would say I really liked fighting in Dublin, Ireland a lot. That was a cool fight. That their fans are rowdy but respectful. If you fight in Brazil, which I fought in Brazil a few times. If you fight one of their countrymen, man, they throw stuff at you.
Hostile.
At you. Like, you're kind of a little bit. Like, man, I just want to go home. Fuck this. I want to beat this guy's ass, make my money, and go home.
Now, did you get a win in Brazil?
Yeah, I went 1-1. The first one I won. I was on the main card of pay-per-view. The second one I lost. The first one was in Rio, and the second one was in Sao Paulo.
Nice.
That's so sweet. So, I mean, obviously you're coming back from your injury. Or do you have like a target fight circle that you're looking for or hunting for?
Well, I'm trying to look to maybe August, September. It's August or September. I don't want to rush it. I want to give myself plenty of time, get my strength back. I mean, I push myself too hard sometimes, too fast, and I think that's what the last few times I've torn my MCL. And I thought it was always healed, and it wasn't. So I think this time I'm going to just ease my way back in there, ease my way back in the training, and look closer to maybe August or September to get back in there.
Well,
there's usually good cards around that time anyways. So
yeah, it's always. I mean, there's a lot of good cards right now. I mean, every week now is so many fights. It's like, you can get on so many fight cards in so many different places. For me, it's crazy, but I like fighting on that Vegas, the Apex, because that cage is smaller, which most people don't know. But the Apex cage is smaller than if it's like a pay-per-view. That one's about 1.5 sizes bigger than that. It's quite a bit bigger than that one.
Wow.
So as a wrestler, I like the smaller cage, and I have more success in the smaller cage.
That's interesting. I never knew that. I never knew that they were. I've filmed a couple of local fights way back in the day, like sat on the cage with a camera and all that. And like I always watched the UFC. I've never been to a live fight, but I could always tell on the pay-per-views, like it is a much bigger cage.
Yeah, it's definitely a much bigger cage than like I said, the fight night, the Apex ones, stuff like that. Is a smaller cage, which makes a difference. It really does. Less footwork, less distance. You gotta close.
Yeah, and I assume that's faster, right? Like a smaller cage is gonna feel faster.
Yeah, it's not really fast. I guess you could say it's faster, but not really. It's just you don't have to cover as much distance. cage now. I mean, the other one is like twice as much. They can circle out a lot faster than the other one.
I've gotcha. Cool.
If you go straight back a couple steps, you're on the cage already.
Well, if you can work yourself into a title fight in like August, September when you come back, this show with guests is undefeated with their next event or fight or whatever it is.
Okay.
We're just throwing that out there. Not
All
that,
right.
you know.
I'll remember that.
Yeah, good luck.
What happened?
So I mean now like what's the dynamic of the sport, right? Like I feel like it's growing. Like Dana's got this thing on a full steam ahead train growing still.
Well, I mean, the difference. I've seen a lot. I started way back when. It's been almost 13 years for me. In the next couple months, I think next month that'll be 13 years I've been in the UFC.
Damn.
Wow.
So a few things is there's way more science behind this stuff than used to be, right? Like now they have now they even have nutritionists at the fight. They tell you exactly what to eat, what to drink. They do all your meal prep, and they do. We have the strength and conditioning coaches now. They work with all that. They work with all. I mean, it's the science behind this is crazy, but like anything, with money comes better science, comes better everything. So you're making a lot more money than it was in the beginning. So now we're getting better athletes too. With money comes better athletes, and the athletes are coming pretty hard right now.
Yeah, it seems like, I went through and watched a few of your older fights and, a couple of the recent ones. And, just looking at fighters from that previous era to now, it feels completely different. It's kind of how like football is right now.
It is completely different. I mean, it's evolving fast, and the game's changing so fast. And that's why if you want to last in this game, you better just keep on evolving yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I've seen a lot of guys come and go. I mean, at one point they're supposed to be a top prospect, the next minute they're gone. And that's because they refuse to evolve their game. You got to be like a beginner, learning from the beginning. You got to be open-minded to keep going, to keep improving your game, to stick around. When you stop doing that, I mean, you're dying. It's the end of your career, pretty much, I feel like.
That's crazy.
That's a really, really good point, actually. You hear that, too, about just your body in general. When you stop moving, that's when you start dying. Do you have, let's be real, you're 38. I'm 37. I know how I feel in my body. I'm a parent and I don't even fight.
Yes.
I wrestle a 7 and a 2-year-old.
Yeah.
And I know how I feel. But do you have a idea of how long you want to keep fighting? Do you have a contract length that,
Yeah, I do. I know exactly what you're talking about. And yes, I do have a kind of an expiration date, if you want to say that, and the date. I'll be 39 May. I'd like to retire right around 40, maybe right before, right after 40. So I got 3 more fights in this contract, 3 or 4 more fights, hit 40, which is achievement that I think is great for me. Break some
that's
more.
a really long time. Career.
Yeah, I've had a great career. I'm not gonna complain about it. I mean, I could retire right now and be happy, but here's how I look at it. I'm still competing at the highest level. I still can compete at the highest level. I want to do it now. I don't want to be one of those people that's like, oh, they come back later because they didn't get what they wanted out of it.
Right.
I want to end my career on my note when I can still do it, and then I look back. I'm like, you know what? I made it to 40. I compete as long as I could. It's been great.
That's awesome.
That's a really awesome way of thinking about. You don't want to pull a Brady, right? Retire and then I gotta come back 40 days later.
I'm once I retire, I'm not coming back. I promise. Right. I know that once I hit that day, it's okay, man. I set out for a certain thing. I completed the whole thing that I've ever thought about in my career. I made it to 40. I've been in the UFC. It'll be like 15 years at the time. I'll have most of the featherweight records at the time. So it's like, I did what I could. I did the best I could. I'm proud of what I did.
You should be for sure.
That's
and
fucking
you'll have
awesome.
to when they elect you in the UFC Hall of Fame for your records. You'll have to come back on the show. Let us know
Yeah,
how
there
that
we
is.
go. There we go. All right, Darren. Well, we appreciate your time, my friend. Anything you want to say to anyone out there that's fighting or getting into fighting before you get out of here?
No, I'm good. It's been a pleasure, though, guys.
I have
Thanks.
one last question,
Yeah,
real
let's do it.
quick. Who's your favorite fighter?
Man, I don't know. I got so many guys on the team. I don't watch a lot of fighting anymore. Like I used to watch it all the time when I was younger. But man, when I do watch it, I watch my teammates. You know,
I was gonna say, you've got some pretty good teammates there. Three title holders. It sounds like you got another one coming too.
I mean, it's a solid team. We've been one of the top teams in the lighter weight division for a long time, and it's a dynamic that most people don't even understand. I've been around. I've trained with a lot of different teams, and I do love training that team Alpha Male. They make you feel at home, and we have lots of bonds, and we support each other, and we try to raise each other up.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
It's a pretty stacked team too. A lot of good names on there.
So, are you a Bears fan, Darren? I know you're from Chicagoland area.
Come on, buddy.
I don't really watch football anymore. I'm not gonna lie. I don't really watch football anymore. I watch a little hockey once in a while. I'm still a Blackhawks fan.
Attaboy.
There we go. We'll take that.
Yeah.
You got a baseball team?
No, I don't watch baseball. I like going to baseball games. I don't.
All right. What's better, the Cell or Wrigley?
I like the Sox over the Cubs.
Oh
no. That's
breaking our hearts.
We still got the Hawks.
I was never a Cubs fan, and I can't do it.
It's fine. Most people are born into it. I had no choice.
Well, we were just hoping that you were a Bears fan so you could fight our Packers fan on the show.
Why you gotta fight me? What did I do?
Because you're a Packers fan.
Just because we're better than you.
All right, Darren. Well, we appreciate you so much, my friend. Make sure you guys go ahead.
I went to school Wisconsin Parkside, so I feel you. I've got a lot of Packer fans, Packer friends, so don't worry about it.
I'm not worried about these guys.
I don't fight for anyway, so don't worry about that.
I'm out of your weight division.
All right, Darren.
All right, guys.
We appreciate you, my friend. Thanks so much for hopping on. Also, big thanks to Coach Bill Hawkins on the back-to-back state championships there for connecting us.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's a huge deal. That's badass.
Yeah, they're doing good things there in Crown Point.
Yeah, they are. Really are.
So, all right, Darren. Well, we appreciate your friend. Have a good night, man.
You too. Bye.
See you, buddy. Whoa.
I don't like that.
That's
terrible.
Fucking try to sick a UFC fighter on me.
I sure the fuck did.
Yeah,
I sure the fuck did.
I was gonna reach into my wallet. I got money. How much it gonna cost?
I didn't realize he's been fighting for the UFC for 13 years. Holy shit.
Yep.
That's fucking awesome.
And Ryan took all my questions.
Sorry, I'm just better at it than you are.
I had the Gable Stevenson one pulled up ready to go.
I completely forgot he was from Portage too. Wonder if Chip can put us in contact.
He's a nice
I guarantee
guy.
Chip knows him.
I didn't know Gable just had heart surgery.
Did he?
Yeah, that's why he's been kind of away. He's back in.
Isn't he like 23?
Yeah.
God damn. Been hitting them roids hard, huh?
22. He's 22, 23.
All right. So we had XFL this week in week 1.
Yep.
What a fun weekend.
What a product.
That is a damn good product. That was good, fun football.
I mean, really no blowouts. The DC beats the Sea Dragons 22-18. Our beloved Battlehawks win 18-15 over the Brahmas.
Thrilling comeback.
That game was so much fun.
Roughnecks beat the Guardians 33-12, and then Renegades do win 22-20 over the poop standing up Vipers.
So, to be fair, the Battlehawks game was boring. up into the last 2 minutes.
Not
Like, it
even
was
minute and 29
boring
seconds when
as
that ball was
fuck.
snapped.
Like, I fell asleep watching that game. I'm not even gonna lie.
Yeah, it was a crazy fucking weekend. But I mean, it didn't feel at any point that I was watching like a subpar product. Like it didn't
There
feel
were
like I was watching.
some times
Yeah,
that
but
you
I
could
mean,
not so much subpar, but like not. I mean, yes, the definition of subpar. Sorry,
sure.
because you could tell, like, okay, this you could look at the routes the guys are running, or you can look at the lines the defenders are taking, or even how they're tackling. You can see that and go, okay, I get why you're here right now.
Mm-hmm.
But it
I
wasn't
feel like
bad football. It was level and good football.
Yeah.
Still,
I feel like
because
across
everybody
the
was.
board- Sorry, Ryan.
No, I was
Sorry,
just
you
gonna
were
say everybody's like on the same level, so
Yeah.
it works really well.
Yeah, I just feel like across the board, like a lot of the offensive lines struggled.
Yeah,
Like,
I
I
mean, do you think that had anything to do with only 5 weeks of camp though?
Yes.
Maybe, yeah, 100%. Like high school has longer training than that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, but if
'cause,
you
like,
don't
quarterbacks were constantly under pressure the whole
Yeah.
weekend.
if you don't do anything, go back and just watch the last minute and a half of the St. Louis San Antonio game.
That extra point rule. I like it.
Chef's kiss.
All of the rules.
The 4th and 15.
It made for really compelling football. I'm adopted Battlehawks fan and Sea Dragons fan, just because I like Josh Gordon. We both smoke weed. But
You
like
smoke weed, Ryan? No way.
me? No, never, ever. Wouldn't touch the stuff.
As you look
What
at
was
him.
I saying?
You-
Because I forgot.
You were an adopted Battlehawks fan. You had
Yep.
no in your Sea Dragons, Josh Gordon,
Yep.
weed. That's where you left off.
Cool. Well, that doesn't get me where I was going. Anyways, it was good football.
It
That's all
was.
I'll
It's
say.
good football. It was a lot of fun.
I mean, and like one of the things that we're like, okay, what is something that you wish the NFL would do? And we said transparency during replays, and I didn't realize this, and I don't think any of us did, that we
Remember
got
what it was.
those transparencies during replay. Like we're not sitting here talking about the referees after week 1.
So I think a really good way of thinking of it is the football. I would give, honestly, last weekend I'd probably give a solid B to.
Mhm.
It was better than I was expecting, but the actual like production and the overall presentation of the game, solid A plus, like better than what the NFL puts out.
Agreed. And we got a Thursday night game this week.
If I could get NFL teams, if the NFL would just adopt these rules, it would be far and away. It would blow anything. It would blow soccer out of the water worldwide because it would be that much more fun and compelling to watch. That's the thing with it, is it's compelling because you can have a 9-point play and then, a 4th and 15,
15 from the 25.
like that's a lot of quick turnaround. That's how the Battlehawks won,
Well, I mean, we said it in the group chat, right? Like if that was an NFL game, that game ends 15-9.
Yeah, exactly.
No, the game ends 15-8. There's no 3-point play.
Well,
That's
they
true.
had 3 points before. They score 6. That's 9.
No, they scored a 3-point play on a 3-point play.
I'm aware. They got the 3 points. So they had 3
But the
points.
NFL
They
couldn't-
scored a touchdown. They got 6, which put them at 9. What I'm saying is, in the NFL, if they'd have gone for 2 and not gotten it, that game would have ended 15-9.
I didn't know what the final score was.
18-15.
My bad.
But yeah, it was
Yeah.
really good football.
Really good football.
I am ready to watch the next game on Thursday night.
Yeah, and I like how they have it spread out, like Thursday night, Saturday night prime time, early Sunday afternoon game, Sunday night prime.
Yeah, that's a really solid schedule and smart schedule for them.
But so yeah, we got a game Thursday night. St. Louis heads out to Seattle to play the Sea Dragons. I guess it's gonna be cold and supposed to snow and shit.
Mm-hmm.
I think St. Louis wins that game.
I
Probably.
don't know. I didn't watch.
I think
the
St.
Seattle
Louis's
game.
defense is really good,
Yep.
and I think that's the difference there. I think they're going to win.
Yeah.
I didn't watch the Seattle game at all.
I think Houston's probably the best team in the league. Just looking at stuff
Mhm.
originally off the top of the eyeglass or whatever. I think San Antonio and St. Louis looked really tough on defense.
Oh yeah, they're 2 and 3. I think for sure.
So you got to see if that. I mean, it really kind of felt like San Antonio just took the foot off the gas, right? Like,
Yeah, I think that San Antonio 5 out of 8 times wins. That matchup.
maybe.
I think they're a little better than what I saw out of. Now, if that last minute and a half McCarron is the McCarron we get from here on out, that's another story.
And then you had the Defenders fans.
He is an
throwing
Alabama
lemons.
quarterback, and
It's true.
He is an Alabama quarterback, and he did not look. I mean, I said this in the group chat. I was not impressed.
You did.
So.
What was crazy is the craziest fans of the weekend. I thought it would be Battlehawks fans, but it was DC fans.
We weren't at home though.
That's true.
I don't care. DC fans.
What do we bring into the home opener?
Dildos.
Oh God.
Head
we're
on down
gonna
to
be like Bill.
Dildopolis.
We're gonna be like Bill's Mafia. Throwing dildos on the field.
You think
We
DC
should just
takes
throw
the
chicken
drinks for next time?
nuggets. Should we just go buy bags of frozen chicken nuggets?
Man, what a waste.
They get Midwest. Throw ranch.
Well, I'm just thinking hawks. That's like a chicken. Because they're both
It's got
birds.
feathers.
It's got feathers.
All right, last thing
Predators.
before we get out of here. Are we in full on spring training baseball, or is it just pitchers and catchers still?
Saturday
Saturday.
is the first game
Just
for the
opening
team that
days,
we
4
care
days away.
about.
Exciting.
Yeah, I'm very pumped. I'm getting more and more excited about the Cubs. I think that
Yes. Pictures.
yeah, well, that's good.
Would you? Were you coughing there?
We keep signing pictures. I didn't want to interrupt Brian for the third time today.
I would like to real quick though read to you guys the XFL power rankings before we move on.
Oh yeah. Let's do that.
Roughnecks are 1,
Mhm.
Renegades 2, the Vipers 3. Sorry, the 0-1 Vipers 3, the DC Defenders 4, the St. Louis Battlehawks 5. They got the Vipers up at 3, and they've lost a game. And then you got the Sea Dragons, the Brahmas, and the Guardians.
I don't put too much stock in after week 1. Like, we didn't look good. St. Louis
That's
didn't
true.
look good.
That's
We
what
did get the win.
That's what I
but
was saying, yeah.
We did get the win. I guess at the end of the day, that's what matters, right? So
Sure.
we'll see tomorrow. I mean, on Thursday, we come out looking good on Thursday. It may not, like, none of it may even fucking matter.
Let's hope.
But that has to be like one of the greatest comebacks in the sport.
I can't
just
think
in
of very
XFL, but,
many
like,
more.
Like, how, like, there's no way you were down 50, you're down 12 with a minute and a half. You would have needed to score a touchdown, an onside kick, and another touchdown in a minute and 20 seconds.
Like the one I'm thinking of is the Chiefs coming back against the Texans.
What's the Devin Hester game with Dennis Green?
Bears Cardinals.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually the Mike Brown game. That's actually the second Mike Brown game.
Oh,
the first Mike
right.
Brown game was the week before.
Against the Niners, right?
Yes.
Wild.
Listen, Mike Brown, one of my favorite all-time favorite Bears. Because I watched both of those games live.
I remember
safety too.
feeling bad for people that left the game early.
Oh yeah.
But then I don't because I never leave a game early.
You can't.
Your offense looked like shit in that game too. Your offense didn't do shit in that
That's
game
why.
at all.
That's why we had to rely on a
You
safety.
talking about the Bears? You're talking about the Battlehawks because the comment goes both ways.
Both.
The Bears game that you won against Arizona, your offense did shit. I think Rex Grossman threw 5 picks in that game.
It was, yeah,
4 or
probably.
5.
It was not. It was not one, which
It
is
was definitely
normal.
not one.
So give me some
What
baseball
is
headlines.
Rex Grossman up to right now?
Nothing. Give me some baseball headlines before we get out of here. What's going on with pitchers and catchers reporting? Anyone getting hurt? Anyone looking really good?
Nobody's hurt yet.
Jacob DeGrom's shut down already.
Shocking.
Yeah, that's
Keith
not a
goes,
shocker.
no one's hurt yet. Ryan goes, Jacob DeGrom is shut down.
I was thinking about Cubs. Who cares? Jacob DeGrom being hurt's just old
That
news.
means it's baseball time.
Just baseball season.
I saw
Look
a
it
meme
up to
earlier. It was like
see.
Greg Maddux talking. It was like Maddux talking to DeGrom about how many innings they're both going to pitch this season or something.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah, not anybody crazy right now.
That's good.
Michael Kopech is out. He's questionable with a knee for the Sox. Also questionable with just being a questionable human, Mike Clevenger. That's been a long-term thing. And Liam Hendricks is, obviously fighting cancer.
Yeah.
Yeah, right now I think we're just waiting for all the injuries to pour in the first couple of weeks.
Hopefully they don't happen, but inevitably they will.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully they're not wearing the big C.
World Baseball Classic starts soon, right?
Yes. Seiya Suzuki is going to be rubbing elbows with his bestie, trying to get him to come over to the Cubs next year.
That's only in between weightlifting sessions, though.
Sure.
Because
They're
he
gonna be
looks
lifting
fucking
him.
jacked.
Yes. Yeah, he does. He's adjusted to the American game.
He got those American steroids.
Who
Yeah.
is your NL MVP frontrunner? Why is
Seiya
it Suzuki?
Seiya Suzuki's left bicep.
Wild. Such a fun fucking... Well, so I'm excited. So we'll have Saturday. So we'll be able to talk XFL games on Friday. We'll be able to talk the actual XFL game from Thursday night. I think Rick said he won't be here on Friday, right?
That's true.
Correct.
So hopefully Danny will be with us. That'll probably depend on if the Seahawks win or lose, or Seahawks or whatever, Sea Dragons.
Sea Dragons.
Maybe it'll end in a tie.
Well, okay, so what are the XFL rules on a tie?
I don't know. I'm not gonna look them up.
I got you.
Keith?
I'm looking up what Rex Grossman is doing right now.
Probably nothing.
I'll beat you to it, Keith.
Probably because I can't fucking type.
Overtime will consist of alternating attempts from the
Oh, that's
opponent's
right.
5-yard
That's right.
line.
There is no
Each
ties
team
in the
will
XFL.
have a single down to reach the.
Just
And
secure
then
how many points, Ryan?
If the
How many
game, I don't know.
2.
If the game remains tied after those 3 attempts, then the alternating downs will be repeated, sudden death style, until a winner is determined.
I like it.
Do you know there's no coin flip in the XFL?
Wait, there's not?
No.
What
the
is
home
it?
team determines whether they want the ball or not.
That's awesome. I like that.
Really? That's cool. Home field advantage for
home-
sure.
Yeah.
And they have to announce before the game.
Oh.
Remember the old XFL?
Yeah, where they put the ball down?
Mhm.
Yeah, like the first one where they put the ball in the middle of the field and they had their first injury before they even played a game.
Yep.
Mhm.
That was a cool way to determine who got ball first, though.
Yeah, until the guy separated his shoulder and never got to play again.
Well, I mean, that's true.
He should have drank more milk.
Hey, Nate, some milk.
He needs some milk.
Good show for a Tuesday for us tonight, boys. This was fun.
Yes.
Why did you both freeze when I said that? Shit.
Great show.
Great
Loved it.
show.
Make sure you guys follow Darren on his Instagram and Twitter. His information is at the bottom at Darren
you like to see
Elkins
blood.
MMA. Yeah, if you like to see blood. He did not look the same like his pictures because there's no blood on his face.
We should have put a filter on him. Made him all spooky.
We should have. We'll have to keep track when he gets back to the mat if he continues the BAM sports show.
We got to send him a shirt and see if he'll wear it down.
Oh, there's an idea. Maybe like a patch.
Yeah. Ask him how much it is to get like a stitch.
Just
about all
one
we can
blue
afford.
stitch.
Hey, if we put our logo on your shoelace, how much does that cost?
It's like, all right, Darren,
$100,000.
you rode our winning streak right to a title. Now it's time to get our logo tattooed on your chest.
Ooh, that's a good one too.
All right, we're gonna wrap this up and get at what?
Can we get the BattleBots guy to put our logo on his next robot?
Ooh, maybe. Well, no, they've already been recorded.
Well, on his next robot.
Oh, his next
Next
robot,
robot.
Banshee 2.576.
I want to build a robot now.
Danny's back into it. I saw it the other day on Facebook.
In his creepy ass basement.
Yeah.
That looks like a murder basement. I'm in a basement and I got like black tarp up there still. And like his looks more like a murder basement than my basement.
Dexter called. He wants his basement back. All right, boys, we're going to wrap this up and get out of here. Keep it short and sweet on a Tuesday. We appreciate all of you guys stopping in and checking it out. Big shout out to Darren Elkins for jumping on tonight.
A lot of fun.
We greatly appreciate you, my friend. Good luck in your recovery. Good luck in all of your future endeavors. Boys, we will be back on Friday. Have a great rest of your week. Peace.